Just a couple bros watching a movie.
Welcome back to Remembering the Razzies.
So, should we fully disclose?
Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna say who did it. I'm not gonna say. But we watched this a week ago, and the footage disappeared.
Someone uploaded it incorrectly, and then we couldn't edit it because that dummy, before checking what got uploaded, deleted it like a dummy.
What did we watch today, Jacob?
What did we watch for this winter? We watched Showgirls, a very racy film.
Let's talk through the plot of the movie.
Sure.
It starts off with Nomi, played by Saved by the Bell's Elizabeth Berkley. Mm-hmm. And she's just hitchhiking. She hitchhikes to Vegas, and she loses all her money, and she meets a friend. And that friend, after meeting her for 2 seconds, says, "Come live with me. You're pretty down on your luck right now."
Meets her after 2 seconds is putting it lightly. She's assaulting the friend's car, and the friend's like, "Whoa, calm down. You want to live with me?" Like, it's
it's quick.
She's very forgiving, I guess.
It jumps to like a couple months later, and they're living together, and Nomi is now a stripper, but she wants to be one of the high-end showgirls in Vegas, which is like stripping but classier and more artistic.
I think they describe it at one point in the movie. They're like, listen, you could be just stripping and giving people what they want, or you could be lying and doing the same thing, but you're just deceiving everyone and saying, like, this is art, but it's just the same shit.
It's stripping, but you watch it and you're like, oh yeah.
So I can't masturbate, is what you're saying.
Nomi meets the main dancer at this big, like, club. She kind of takes her under her wing, but is also kind of a bitch.
She sees that she has talent, and she wants to cultivate that, but at the same time, she's an asshole about it.
Yeah.
Where she's like, listen, you're great, and I want you to be as great as you can be. You can be as great as me someday, but not until I'm dead. I'm gonna fucking kill you if you get in my way.
And then Nomi slowly rises up the ranks, and through sabotage and backstage drama, becomes the top dancer there. And then records come out about her at the end, and then she has to leave. We skipped over a lot of the movie.
Yes.
A lot of things happen in this movie.
Yeah.
But overall, it is the classic performer rising up through the ranks and going through the shit, and bad things happen to get to the good things. And yeah.
Yeah. Describing that doesn't sound like a bad movie.
Yeah.
And it's really not. Mm-hmm. Both Tristan and I think that...
Yeah, we liked it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
When we watched it, I remember we were comparing it to other good movies. Like, Lonely Lady wasn't a good movie, but we compared it to that. We compared it to Black Swan. We compared it to Wolf of Wall Street. And I think those are all fair comparisons.
Yeah, they all have very similar themes. I think the biggest reason that the Razzies were turned off to this movie, this movie's very sexual, which makes sense. It does make sense, and like, I'm glad that the filmmakers decided not to censor it, and like this 100% was the vision of the filmmakers. It's just very graphic.
This isn't a movie that you'd be like, oh mom, I saw this great movie about show business.
Right.
But then again, I wouldn't watch like Wolf of Wall Street with my mom either. That movie opens with Leo sniffing coke out of a chick's ass.
Yeah. It's like that. Like, it's uncomfortable, but it's also reality, and so it makes sense for it to be in the movie.
There's one plot at the end that we didn't cover. There's this very random rape scene of the friend.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it has anything to do with the overall plot. The movie's about Nomi, and it doesn't really affect her, besides the fact that it's, oh no, my friend got raped, I'm gonna go take my revenge.
Right. And I mean, even at that point, like, yes, that is her closest relationship in Vegas, but like, there were better ways to show her getting out of the business. Like, there's so many fucked up things that you see during this movie, and rape isn't even like a thing in this movie. Like, there's a manager at the old club that like brings up blowjobs every so often. But
there's the boat show guy too that like mentions like, "Oh, come back to my place with this client and we'll see what happens." But she's the type of character that's like, "No, fuck that."
Yeah, she backs out of it. There's no consequences for her backing out of it. Yes, it's obviously very uncomfortable and like fucked up that it happened, but the fact that like this secondary character gets just brutally raped and like the scene is very graphic. And that's the thing that like she's like, oh, this world that I'm in is bad because no one's doing anything about it. She probably would have known that this thing is happening because of the boat show. Like she should know that like this is what this world is.
Yeah, and it's not like this kind of like sexual assault and rape doesn't happen in show business, because it does.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was just like so shoehorned into the movie,
right,
and so graphically filmed, I can see why that would be just not okay for this movie.
There were other routes that they could go. They could have gone the drug route. Like it's revealed that she used to be addicted to cocaine, and that's why in this movie when she's offered drugs, there's multiple times where she just turns it down. I could have seen like an ending where she gets hooked again on drugs and sees how that's destroying her life, and that's the reason why she wants to get out. Like that seems much more thematically appropriate. It calls back from other plot lines. Like that makes more sense to me. This seemed like it was just for shock value.
But besides that last 30 minutes, I liked the rest of it.
Yeah. I think storyline-wise, it was very intriguing. Wasn't this a movie where, like, I didn't want to go to the bathroom, like, in the middle of it? Like, I had to go to the bathroom, and, like, this was the first movie where I'm like, all right, I don't want to go to the bathroom right now because I want to see what's happening. Like, I don't want to miss anything that's happening in this movie. It's that good.
Yeah, I was hooked. From like, you even said from the first shot.
It's nothing outstanding. In this series, it is outstanding, but like in general, like it has very good cinematography. Like there's this great like one shot where they got a crane, which isn't impressive in general, but like it was
Razzie
refreshing.
movies.
Yes, it was very refreshing to see.
Want to talk about what it won?
Sure.
Showgirls won Worst New Star for Elizabeth Berkley, Worst Screenplay, Worst Director, Worst On-Screen Couple for any combination of two people or two body parts in Showgirls, Worst Actress, and Worst Picture. So we'll skip Worst New Star for now, because we'll talk about that when we talk about Actress. Worst Screenplay.
Beyond the last plot point, I would disagree.
I would disagree too.
I think the movie is compelling. I think it's pretty well written.
Probably narratively the best one we've seen. I mean,
I don't even see really where they're coming from.
There are some lines in it that are funny.
You take care, kid. Must be weird not having anybody come on you.
This movie's like reevaluated as a satire.
Sure.
Critics have come back and watched it, and
which I don't really get much satire from it.
I don't either, but that line in particular, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, and especially from that character. That character is he's not a pimp, but he's a pimp-esque guy.
Yeah.
That is within his character to say that.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Worst director, disagree. Again, which we'll talk about, there's one direction towards the one person that could have been a little better. I think he directed everybody how they should be acting. I think it was a very competently made film, probably one of the better ones that we've seen.
For a movie that has so much nudity, the fact that we didn't think that it was just a bad porno the whole time is really commendable from the director. Like, I'm glad that all of the reactions from people to the nudity in the film were appropriate. If they had just thrown in like a comic relief character in this movie would be fucked.
Yes.
Like if there was one guy the whole time just like, look at your gazungas, this movie would be done.
Yeah. But yeah, directing wise, I think he did a decent job.
Yeah. No, it wasn't bad or the acting was not bad, so the directing wasn't good.
Yeah.
Or bad. Fuck. Damn it.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay, man.
Let's keep going.
Worst screen couple. Worst screen couple feels like instead of like a mock on an Oscar,
it's like an MTV.
It's like an MTV award. I think it's good in future movies that we'll see, because I know it comes back for like Jack and Jill and things like that.
Right.
But for this one, I don't know. It just feels like another dunk on the movie. I think all the characters have believable chemistry between each other. I don't think it's not like a crappy rom-com where two characters like have absolutely no chemistry and it's enough to give them the anti-MTV award.
In the parts of this movie where two characters are interacting and it's not like just their body parts touching, I think that's some of the best parts of the movie. Any interaction between the headliner of the higher up stripper show and the main character, their interactions are great because like there's so much tension and stuff. I think they're just really, all they're doing with this award is showing their hand of like, we didn't like this movie because people were naked and touching each other. Yeah. That's all that this award is.
It's so crazy that the 90s can be so like, oh, nudity, and then they'll make a movie that's like super racist.
Yeah, no, it's like they're punk rock with an asterisk where they're like, yo, violence, fuck yeah, but no nipples, please.
I don't want to see boobies.
No nipples. It's a stupid award.
I think it's hilarious in the future.
Yes, I think they can use it, but this one is just like a little
too much.
Yeah, it's a pissy fit.
Yeah. This is the one I've been wanting to talk about, Worst Actress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's crazy.
It's not like the worst performance I've ever seen.
No, she doesn't ruin the movie.
She's no Bo Derek.
Yeah.
But she's not good. And that's what I said about the director. The one thing that he could have done a little better is tell her to like
just pull it back a little.
Tone it back a little bit.
She's like this unrefined talent at first, and like she's crazy and she's dancing nuts.
Yeah.
And she's told like, all right, just pull it back. We'll make you better. Mm-hmm. And like she does that, but she's a little too far gone. You can be crazy, but like she's nuts.
It's from the first moment where she meets the friend, and the friend buys her French fries, and the friend says like something a little wrong. Yeah. And then she like throws the French fries and grabs her drink.
Yeah,
it's better when she starts stripping or dancing and she looks like a demon is trying to escape.
She is an angry stripper. There's a sex scene that's funny unintentionally where she's having sex in a waterfall and
in the pool,
and the guy is standing and holding her and she's floating in the water. Instead of just like having sex like a person, she's flailing around, her like smacking her back onto the water, and like she's flailing like a wavy tube man. Just like, it's insane. It's so funny. I want to know what this person's like in real life. She was so good at being wild.
Yeah.
That I can't imagine her any other way. I'll give it to her. She has insane energy, but she's scary. Yeah, she's scary to look at.
Yeah.
Which can be construed as kind of the point. Like, she is a hungry, ravenous person who wants to, like, be at the top.
Yeah, she's very, like, she's very independent. She's a strong woman.
Yes, but good lord.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then, Worst Picture. So this was nominated against Congo, It's Pat, The Scarlet Letter, and Waterworld. I remember watching The Scarlet Letter in high school, and it was bad.
Yeah, I remember. It was just boring.
And I've heard nothing but bad things about Waterworld. I think we've discussed. I think you know.
Yeah,
I think you know.
It's very clear that we liked it.
Showgirls is I wouldn't say Oscar worthy because it's not.
No.
It's like lower top tier. I would say upper middle probably.
I think people probably went into this wanting it to be more of like a popcorn movie, and it's not. It's more of a character piece, and then the nudity threw them off even more. So yeah, I think people just got really upset about what this movie was. Yeah, it's not
I think it's a good showbiz story. I think she pulls it down, but besides that, I think, like we said, we were comparing it to good movies, and not in bad ways.
I enjoyed it.
Like, actually, yeah, I would recommend the movie if you're not like a family movie night, but I'd recommend the movie if you're
a fan of film.
Yeah, if you're just a fan of cinema.
Yeah. If you like Kino. If you've ever said the word Kino out loud, unironically, you'll probably like this movie.
Yeah. Even people who rewatching it, 20, 30 years later are like, this film isn't as bad as
I think since some of the stigma around like nudity and it being in film has gone away, I think this movie can be more generally accepted.
Do you want to rank these?
Yeah, let's rank them.
Sweet. Let's start with Best Made.
Oh man, where would I put it in Best Made? You know what? I think I'd put it at the top.
It's interesting because we ranked this a week ago.
Yeah.
So let's see how it holds up in our brains.
Yeah.
I
would still say it's
the best made.
Because second place we have Shining Through.
And it's just, the screenplay is just bad.
Yeah, Shining Through was just boring and like
it looks nice every now and then, but overall it's like very basic filmmaking. This one I felt like there was style to it.
Yeah.
There were big... I'm going to compare this to musicals.
Boobies.
There were big dance sequences.
Yeah.
And to pull that off and to make it like convincing, when I was editing the Shining Through episode, I was pulling clips from Newsies because it was nominated against it, and watching some of the choreography in that, it was shit.
Oh,
like it's not
really?
It's not good. Like you compare it to the Broadway musical versus the movie, and it's not good choreography.
Okay.
Showgirls, on the other hand, I think the choreography was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it had style to it. These big musical moments had style to it.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say it's best made. And then most entertaining.
So when we ranked this last week, we put it second place.
It was captivating. It kept our attention, but it's not like a, oh, Jacob, you want to come hang out and watch a movie?
It's really good. It's Showgirls.
It's Showgirls.
Yeah.
It's a movie that's compelling, but not like, it's not like I'd watch it for fun.
If I was in a situation where like I had to watch this movie, I wouldn't be like, oh man, I have to watch this movie, but it's not really a movie I'm gonna seek out and watch by myself.
It's like watching like, you know, like a big blockbuster movie, like a Marvel movie or something, versus sitting down and watching like, I feel like this is too generous, but The Godfather or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I want to sit down and watch The Godfather.
Yeah. Or if you're like flipping through movie channels and you're like, oh, what do I want to watch? And like you see Showgirls on, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll just, you know what, I'm just gonna watch Showgirls. Why not?
What channel do you think Showgirls would be on?
Nickelodeon.
But yeah, so we could put it second because Adventures of Ford Fairlane is
I would watch anytime.
Still hilarious, and
Anytime.
the others are all boring as hell.
Yeah. All right. What are we watching next week?
Next week we are watching another Demi Moore movie called Striptease. Fun fact, when Showgirls came out, Striptease tried to distance itself from it to be like, oh, I don't want to be compared to that bad movie. And then Striptease also won Worst Picture.
That's disappointing. This week's film was good. Maybe next week's film will be good.
Oh, I hope. It's our last erotic film of the 90s.
Oh, thank God. There's so many. It's probably one of our last erotic films, period. That's the same one from...
It's the same one from last week?
Yeah. Stop.
It's very dry.
Yeah, yeah, it would be. It's a week old.
It's the Showgirl sandwich.
It's a Showgirl sandwich.
That's our, that's the Remembering the Razzies mascot. Is
Oh,
the Showgirl sandwich.
Oh, gross.
Hi there, can you open up your glove? Will you show me nice pic of your bubs? You so beautiful, show me your vagina.